We are back. I have no idea how that intro started. It's an energy sucker, Tiff, because
Yeah,
you
well, it's
just
not, I'm listening to it. I'm like, da, 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 da,
yeah,
da,
I'm
da,
bouncing
da.
too, but I'm like, are people watching me
And
bounce?
then all of a
Or
sudden, yeah. So I'm like, do I sit still?
we've been having
But it's
trouble,
also
y'all. We've been having trouble because this
there's ones I.
goddamn thing is just not doing what it's supposed to do, right?
Oh my god!
It's
I watched one where you can see us just sitting there before it starts because like we're
like a
trying to time it in,
couple of
and then
babbling
we're just like,
buffoons, right? We look like a couple of boobs just sitting there like, "Ooh."
oh shit.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, man, what are we doing here? Hello, it's Fans of Patrol time. My name is Montego, host of Fans of Patrol. With me is my adorable co-host, Miss Tifflebot. What's going on with you
Hello.
this week, Tiff?
Uh, it's been a long week. It's been a hot week here, so
Hot?
excited to be inside and talking.
Oh, you mean temperature wise?
Yeah, it's real muggy up here because of the corn and whatever.
The corn makes it hot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, have you? There's a thing called corn sweat. It
Hell
like
no. I know it's a
so.
man called Corn Sweat. He just played Superman.
There's a thing called corn sweat. The corn likes it when it's humid. So when the corn's doing really well, it then releases more moisture into the air, and then it makes it even more humid. It's just
I had no
disgusting.
idea. You know.
Yeah, they love it. We hate it.
Oh man, I had no idea, man. Corn sweat. It's
Corn
a
sweat.
real thing.
Yeah.
Oh God. So was
Just
that
living out
man
here in
who
the
played Superman?
farmlands.
The man who played Superman, did his family lineage come
Yeah,
all
just
the way
probably
from
they were like they're rich with corn
they
sweat.
smell like corn sweat, you know?
Yeah,
You know?
I know. When I
Oh
hear corn sweat, I think about like corn chips.
really?
Yeah,
S-
ew.
So it has not been hot, yeah. You know,
Oh,
it's
nice.
been actually pretty decent, man. You know, so I've been living it up, man. The temperature went down a little bit, so I was able to get my fat cheeks out there and start doing a little
Mhm.
walking outside and stuff because like it was like raining right the whole like half the summer and cold,
Yeah.
and then it just all of a sudden poof a billion degrees. And so last week we had a little break, but the wind blows from west to east. So if it was hot for y'all this week, then we probably about to be smoking hot here this week. So damn it. We're gonna have to deal with a little corn sweat.
Well, yeah, that's all our fault, everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. So man, this week, I don't think we put it on any of our announcements. We still getting the hang of this thing, y'all. Even though we didn't put, Tiff, we didn't this is like maybe our sixth or seventh like live show. I think we didn't did
You know,
quite a
that's
few of
okay. Yeah,
these
I
now.
think you're right. Yeah.
Holy shit. It took this to be consistent, right?
It just, it'll get better. It just keeps getting better. That's the deal.
Yeah, and
We
it's like a
appreciate your patience. And if you're
yeah,
here right now, wow.
yeah. And it takes a lot to change up everything you're doing. We package it and carefully editing it and putting in sound effects and jokes. It was a good thing, but it's just too much work, y'all. That was a whole day's worth of work. I'll be sitting here
Mhm.
for 8, 9 hours, sitting here like, something, but it must be funny.
Yep.
So anyway, man, we're doing this week 28 years later.
Yes. My brain was having trouble. My brain kept being like weeks, no, months, no, years.
Years. And
Yeah.
so,
Ew, you guys.
hey,
You were around when that first one came out. Yuck.
well, yeah, that's us. So
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes you feel old. You're like, oh, okay. We've lived through to the new zombie, like the new
so Tiff,
zombie reality.
has it been actually 28 years or is no since the
I
first
don't
movie?
know. Has it? I feel like it has probably.
Oh, don't say that. Let me see. Now I gotta look it up. Look
Well,
how
then you have to do
prepared we are.
math, and I don't know. I'm not good at that.
28 weeks, 28 years, 28 weeks, 28 days. When was that? Wait a second. That's not it. That's 28 days with Vigo
28
Mortensen, Sandra Bullock. Wait a second.
days later.
28 days later.
2002.
Okay.
So 20 years plus. It's been 23 years.
So thank
Close
God for that.
enough. Close enough, though.
No, but it's not actually 30 years. So I feel better about that.
It's only
I'm like,
5 years short.
'cause I watched this with my daughter and I was talking to her about it. I was like, "Yeah, I think it's been about 30, 28 years. I was like, I hope
Yeah, it's
not.
close enough.
Because it's not like it's Empire
I mean, it
Strikes
doesn't
Back or
really
something,
have
right?
to be, right? It's not real, but close
That's fine.
enough.
Well, shit, right? Because hell, you waited a long time to do this anyway. Since
Hmm.
the franchise kicked off, and you know
The real question is, why no 28 months later? They missed the months.
they did miss the
That
months.
bothers me.
They did weeks,
28
right?
days, weeks,
Yeah.
months.
Speaking of something that had terriblest transition ever. Speaking of something that has nothing to do with months or years,
Go on.
I was looking at what is it? There's been a whole bunch of stuff going on this week about War of the Worlds.
Hmm.
Uh, one, two. This is like one, two, three for the fourth rendition of this thing because it started on like radio with the first one, and then they had the movie. You
Hmm.
know, and the Tom Cruise, when he's
I remember.
singing that song and stuff,
I
all
remember.
creepily and stuff. I don't know. And and then now this and Tef, people are not liking this damn thing. So we talked about hey, I don't need no time. We talked about this thing last week, right? We just mentioned because we were talking about the Comic Cons
And
things
how
and
quick, snap, snap, snap.
this thing was out. So all this week it hit like an anvil tip. They were like War of the Worlds with Ice starring Ice Cube is the worst movie ever released. They said had a zero.
That's a
Uh,
bold statement, I feel.
it said people were saying the masses it's a zero on Rotten Tomatoes. Now I just looked and over it did get some reviews and it's like up to 4 now, which is
Like
basically the same thing.
4.
Yeah, 4. It has 4.
Oh, okay.
40% on the Rotten Tomatoes. And it says 22%. What is that other thing? Popcorn meter, whatever that means.
Popcorn. Oh, is
Yeah.
that the fans?
I don't I don't know. Let me
Is
look
it
at
because, like, so I'm looking at this trailer, and so people is it my impression of this movie? I haven't seen it, so I feel like I
Mhm.
can't really comment on it. But is it just because a majority of the movie is Ice Cube watching things happen on his computer,
Well,
or
that's part of it, but this is what I've heard. So if you want a full rundown of this, because we're not going to do it, I don't think. Um, So Wizard Podcast just released one. I don't know what their opinions is because I didn't get a chance to listen to it because they're at a Comic Con having fun. What's up, fellas? Soul Wizard Podcast. Um, but apparently Amazon owns this, right?
sure?
Okay, and so apparently he's like some dispatcher that works for Amazon, right?
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Ooh.
Ice
It's the
Cube.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it's not like he's no like government official in some bunker. He's an Amazon worker. So that, like, and then other people who are in this, like, they center it around Amazon. They're advertising like product
Oh,
placement, like a fat rat, right? And
no fucking thank you, bro.
well, right, the heroic workers of of Amazon is going to try to save the world, but apparently the whole thing is a Teams meeting. He's just sitting
That's
there
what I'm
hooping
saying.
and
At the
hollering.
computer, like, what the fuck?
That's what the movie is what
I
I
don't want
heard.
to watch that.
No, and this is just bullshit, right? I mean, like he's watching this person, maybe I don't know how he even has this access, but it's just like an Amazon worker is watching the world getting destroyed, and if
Does
they
he
follow,
send like little drones with packages?
well, I think this hacker joins them, and then he has access to all this stuff, and I haven't seen it. That's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
I don't want to like shit on something I haven't seen, but from the trailer does not make me go, boy, I got to get off right now and go watch
Well,
this.
no, I didn't want to see it at all. First of all, I used to be a fan of Ice Cube until his politics started tripping, and he can kiss my ass, and for life. And so, you do stuff, you say stuff, and then these actors is just,
Well,
woo.
like I feel like these movies where they do primarily like computer focused. There's been a few movies that like had a lot of computer focus as far as like similar to what's happening here, but were very interesting. An interesting commentary or portrayal of how we live online and how that affects us offline. This looks like they were like, "Hey, can you show up at the studio for literally 15 minutes
Hoop and
and
holler and scream and,
we'll film you at the computer, and then you go home. Here's $15 million or whatever, and you're like,
and
fuck
I also
you.
hear that these CGI things are done through the lens of like shitty cameras, which makes it really easy to do the things that you're doing,
Which
because
fair, whatever, but it's just like I always find like on focused CGI really strange because it's like it's not real, so there's like no need to be not focused.
yeah, 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 yeah. Right. Exactly, right. Um, I just thought it was fascinating. I never heard of a zero. And we made fun of Katie Shakoff, right? Because she had that one space movie that was like, I think
Yeah.
it was like an 11. We're like, oh my God, she holds the record. Not anymore. And this movie, it may get higher. What it has gotten higher now because
Right.
it's 22 now. But for this
I
week,
feel I feel in
it
my
was zero.
heart.
No, it's four. It's four. So it
Oh,
hasn't
okay.
gotten higher. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel in my heart that like movies like this will sometimes get like even though they are a 0 or a 4. I mean, there's probably the reality of the situation is there's probably a lot more 0 movies, but there's so many people in this world. There's so many people. There are people who will eat dog treats. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like yum. Like you think that that's not true cuz you wouldn't. It is true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like it's someone's going to like it.
Oh, I was like, I'm
So like
struggling for your point
give
here.
it a little yeah, because like
I was sitting
it's
here like,
literal like
what the hell is she
it's like
talking
like
about?
so you think like there's so many more movies that should be lower. They should be
Yeah,
closer to 0.
yeah.
But somebody out there or a contingent of people out there get a bee in their bonnet. There's an old person thing to say. And they're like, I got to get online and tell everyone that's actually a 4. It's like, it's fuck off. It's a 0. And I'm saying that because so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna like talk about this until we talk about the movie, but I was curious after watching this movie to see what like other people were saying about it because of my specific experience with the movie that we watched today 28 years later. But during that sort of looking at stuff online, I see that Zach Krieger, the guy who has made a movie, he made Barbarian,
Yeah.
and then he has a current movie out now that's I've heard is really good. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was available to rent. Me and my daughter did some scary movie shit yesterday because of this movie, and we did a couple, and I was like, well, let's watch this one. This looks good, and
yeah.
but
And
go
so
ahead.
like I looked it up and he's slated to make a Resident Evil movie. And fine. He did say some stuff that I was like, that's odd that he was like, it's not going to be like this because it's going to be like blah 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 and I'm not going to use source material or I don't know, something weird like that. And I was like, I'm not going to judge the movie till I see it because that's what I try to do no matter what it is because that'd be like saying like I didn't like this, that's an F, then
Yeah,
every
yeah,
great
yeah.
assignment afterwards is an F. Anyway, but during that time people were talking about Resident Evil Raccoon City and
Yeah, which
how
I think we were the only people in the world that loved that
right,
movie.
like that's
Yeah,
the thing is like they were
we
like
loved it. We
it's
loved it.
fucking terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. And I was like, now listen, I'm not saying that just because I like it it means it's a blanket good movie and that everyone should like it. But I really wonder about the response to this because when you watch, at that time, especially because we were heavily doing like new movies every week and seeing stuff like that, I was seeing a lot of movies at that time.
Yeah.
And seeing that movie, I'm like, it is not as bad.
I don't even say you put as bad. I'm not saying
Right.
it's bad at all, man. I
I
mean,
don't think it's bad at all. I
no,
love that movie.
me neither.
But even if I were looking at it through the lens of being more critical towards it, like somebody else who might not like it, I think they're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, that cannot possibly be
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
cannot possibly be true. And then I think that because other people say that, you,
That group mind think shit happens with
yes,
the
they
internet.
really
We all
do
know
just
it.
see
We
what
all
other
know
people
it.
say.
We
And
all
then it
know it.
either affects the way you think about it or you don't even formulate your own opinion.
Well, that's funny because going back to World War of the Worlds, because it has a African American lead, I think a lot of people might be a little hesitant to just destroy it. You know
Be
what I'm
like
saying?
0.
Like but I think that it was just like, oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. And then I've heard opinions from other people, and sometimes when stuff like this happens, I was like, I'll just watch it
Mhm.
just for myself.
Because
But
and here's the weird thing about it is, if this came out and it was like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, it would leave my mind immediately, and I would never even think about it again. But now that it's 0, every once in a while you're gonna be like, zero,
you
zero.
know what though, Tiff? Hmm, I'm getting old, and with shit like this happens, I don't care what it is. I'm getting to the point that if you're like a star or some shit like that, and I think your politics is just effed up. I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do
Right.
anything to
If
give
you're
you
shitty,
money.
especially
To,
like, okay, like
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
if you're gonna step over any boundaries of yourself, like, you know what I mean? If you're gonna like, it's got to be so good. It's got to be like 100%.
If you're gonna be that big of a, if you're gonna be a piece of shit, right? Try to keep it to yourself or keep it on a low low.
Yeah.
But
Don't you want to not affect your money?
yeah, but when you come out just blasting that stuff, it's just like, man, I saw this thing that I couldn't. It was an internet thing, and it was saying all the like these actors in Hollywood who were like stone cold, systematic racists, and it was going through all these stars like Joan Crawford and Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne, of course, and just so many people, and it was Kirk Douglas and just all these people. I was like, God damn,
It's
I
like
was like, whoa,
it's
whoa,
like hitting
whoa.
you. You're like, no, ow.
But then I had to remind myself, I was like, this is an internet show and there was no proof. Now, some of the people I knew about. And so I was sitting there like, yeah, I know about them. So there was a lot of truth in what I heard. So one could believe that maybe the rest of the stuff they were saying
Right.
was true. But without research, I would never just take another person's word for it. If I'm saying somebody's a piece of shit because I've heard it from come out their goddamn mouth themselves. And it's just like shows I love. And I just won't even watch them no more because I'm just like, man, and this is my thing, y'all. I was having this conversation with somebody at work, and they were like, "Well, I just look at it like this. Dancing with monkey, you perform. I don't care. I don't whatever they do." And I said, "I understand that. I understand that." I said, "But I cannot contribute my cash to a person who, if they given the chance, they would take my freedoms away from me. You know what I'm saying?"
Right.
And
And then
so,
also, like, the thing about it is that when you have all that money, you have power. And
exactly,
so you're giving them more power to hurt you.
exactly. So enough of World War of the Worlds.
Watch it if you want, I guess.
Yeah, I would
Tell
have
us
never
what you
watched.
think. Is it
I
0?
would have never watched it no way. And besides anything about anybody's political beliefs or anything like that, the cat just not a good actor. Let's just keep it. He's just not a good actor. He's just not. So
It's just him and a computer.
him and the computer and Amazon is what I heard. And I'm
Amazon.
saying that like it's gospel truth. And I haven't seen a damn thing. So don't listen to me. All that. Don't listen to me. What do I know? I'm
You're
sitting
here
here on the
listening to it
show.
right now, but don't.
Yeah, hey,
Don't listen.
right, exactly. Uh, So yeah, World of Wars, not gonna do it. But that other thing with the weapons, that looked pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
Zach
watched
figured.
another goofy movie this weekend. I watched The Monkey, with Theo James. Had a lot of stars in it. It's getting rave reviews. It
The
was
monkey.
yeah, The Monkey. It's like a Stephen King short story or something like that they made a movie out of. It's like about this little monkey that if you wind him up and he start hitting that drum and playing a tune, somebody gonna die some kind of violent way. People were exploding all over
Oh,
the screen and
okay.
stuff like that. I don't know if I liked it or not. I mean, it was well done for
Sure.
sure. I was like, oh well, um, but the deaths were over the top. Like half the people who died exploded. It was like
Yeah.
it's like they got shot with a gun. Why they explode?
For the
She got
cinema.
electrocuted. Why did she
For the
explode?
cinema. I
And
want to
so
see people exploding.
we we and my daughter watched that. She really didn't like it. She was like, "Oh my god, Daddy! So many people. It's getting rave reviews. It's blah 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 blah, and this is terrible." I was like, "Well, I don't think it's terrible." I said, "I think you got to know what you're getting into before you watch it. That it's
Yeah, and I also think like,
got some goof to it and stuff."
yeah, there are some movies that, and I feel, and I don't mean to be whatever, but like there's all these different factors coming into watching a movie, like where some movies are meant like intentionally ridiculous, and so you're like, that's part of like its
The
talent.
movie,
It's
you're right, but the movie didn't give you that vibe for the longest. You know,
yes. So sometimes you're like, you're watching and you're like, is this intentional? Which
yeah.
like, and sometimes you make accidental art. I'm not saying like that, but I'm just saying like when a movie's bad, sometimes intentionally bad, you're like why though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I see a lot of bad shit every day. I don't need to pay to see it.
I don't see that much bad stuff because I choose not to engage with some things.
No, I mean like I see a lot of low quality things
Yeah.
like against my will. So like I don't need to seek out low quality shit, but there's also things I like that are
It
bad.
gets
Like
so
I
real.
love The Room. And I know it's a bad movie, but I think it's spectacularly bad. Like, and also the artist that created it doesn't think it's bad. You know, stuff like that.
You know, I'm like one of the few people in the world that I never broke down to watch it.
I don't think you would like it. I
I
don't
was like,
think you should ever watch
I
it.
just
Like,
kept hearing about it for years and years, and I was like, I don't think I want to spend my time with that, you know. And I kept hearing the jokes, and for years, and I was like, I don't think I want to. Nah, nah. So I never
yeah, I
watched it.
mean,
I
like
probably never will either.
watching
You
an
know.
intentionally bad movie is not for everyone. Not intentionally. There's like that line. There's the intentionally bad. There's the unintentionally bad, right?
Yeah.
That is like kind of like a train wreck.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and I've watched bad movies that I like
I think, yeah, of
The
course.
Waterboy and stuff like that. It's bad movies, but it's still just
I
hilarious to
do
me.
like her. I saw her boobies. I like them too. I think that
I
all the
saw
time.
movies and I like them
Yeah,
too.
I'll just be like driving in my car down the street, and I'll be like, and I like them too.
I mean, the movie's hilarious. It's ridiculous, but it's hilarious, and I like it. But is it a good movie? No, of course not. But yeah,
And I
I mean,
think there's that eternal question, like, what makes a movie good? I think it has to be very personal, because like, did your and then we had this whole kind of like we talked earlier, this whole conflating thing where we feel like we have to get online, and I know we're doing it right now. You know, this is just for
yeah,
fun, but like you feel like you have to get online and defend your opinions and say this. You can just have
not
your
me, Tip.
opinions and sit by yourself.
Not me. I don't look. If you don't like the movie, if you differ in my opinion, well, of course, anybody who watches the show or listens to the show, hey, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I am. I used to be the most optimistic dude on the planet about this stuff, but I don't know. I think the field has changed so bad
Hmm.
because of the internet, negatively.
I
Um,
agree.
that I don't know. I'm a little harder on stuff now these days than I used to be because so much of this content is steered by those opinions on the internet. I mean, they get fan service for some superhero movies just because they don't. I mean, they do stuff because of I think reaction with these creators now is always in their fray. It's always there, like and I guess in that business, you do something great, and your career is made. If you do something bad, then you'll never work again. But you can
But I
even
do think it's really difficult because I do think, like we said, that sometimes a movie that actually is good,
Mhm.
like people will shit on it. And then
Yeah,
years later, I think a lot about Jennifer's Body, which I've always loved,
yeah, that's
and
your
has
movie.
recently got a lot more. It attained kind of cult status, but then it also got a lot more like commentary. People like, this is actually good. And I'm
Mhm.
like, why did it take? Is it because at that time people were like, oh, it's fucking stupid? And then everyone else was like, yeah, it's fucking stupid because I can't. And I'm not like, some people literally cannot think for themselves. They cannot.
Yeah.
They just
Well,
can't.
we live in that just society now where we are exposed to so many opinions now. Like back in the day when we were younger and stuff like that, when I was a kid, like you were exposed to your boss, your coworkers, and your
The
family, and that was
newspaper,
it.
maybe.
And
You
the
know what I
news that
mean?
came on at
And like I
6
see, like
o'clock.
I think a lot about like when we talked about this like last week with going to conventions and stuff before there was really, I mean, we were using the internet, and the internet was, whatever, in its kind of early days, and you're going there to like meet other people whose like maybe opinions you don't hear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like I think because you're face to face with that person, there's not like all that, well, not as much vitriol, there's not as much anger because you're seeing a human being and not just your computer screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So we do got somebody on with us. Mark Ellis Reagans from So Was a
Oh my
Podcast. Mark says weapons is kind of the same neighborhood as the monkey. So he saws a monkey too. But with no explosions. The explosions was kind of like off the charts, Mark. I mean, the swimming pool part, bam, and like the shotgun in the closet, blam. That's when it started getting like I was like, what the hell, But
Well, he's like Stephen King also does like a lot of weird stuff. Where like there's a Stephen King short story called The Mangler, and it's about a like demon washing machine thing. So he was doing a lot of drugs at one point, This is
What,
questionable.
what if the washing machine was possessed?
Yeah, yeah. What if, like,
And then
what if the washing machine was evil? Hey guys, this is a really great idea. I've been thinking.
Go ahead, pitch it. Give me some of them drugs you're using too.
And then they were like, he was such a a box office devastator as far as like his books and everything that people were like, sure. I mean, can we think about Maximum Overdrive, like the movie where the trucks are evil, which is
I love that movie.
honestly,
I
I do
love that
too.
movie.
Love it, love it. Emilio Estevez looking cute as ever, doing his business.
I don't even know who else was in that movie
No,
now.
why
All I
would you?
remember is him.
It's
I
him and the
remember
trucks.
the truck with the face.
The face, yes.
I remember them all of a sudden getting a rocket launcher and shooting it from like between
Uh,
his legs into the thing's mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, like that's the kind of movie that's it's bad, right? It's not, but you're having a great time.
I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah, I would
I
recommend
still
watching
like,
it again.
I'm
I
like,
watched it a few years ago, and I was like, still good.
oh, was it good? Okay.
Well, I mean, like good in the way that you enjoy it, not necessarily like high cinema.
I remember honestly at my age, that was my introduction, and not that I'm a huge fan, but I'm a mild fan of ACDC because like they had their music was all in that damn movie, and I was like, who the hell is he screaming ass dudes?
A real awakening.
Yeah. All right, man. So let us take it over to our main topic, and that's what we're doing.
28 years later.
28,000 phantoms. No, 28 years later.
28 years under the sea.
So what do we got here? Rated R, 1 minute, 1 hour, 55 minutes.
1 minute.
Zombie horror thriller. Got to throw the double horror in there. A group of survivors on the range. Oh, excuse me. I'm so blind, y'all. Excuse me.
Let me get real close.
Right, a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. when one group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutilated not only the infected but other survivors. Danny Boyle, and I know that name, Tiff.
Well, because he made the original one, yeah.
Okay, somebody else though.
Also, Danny Boyle sounds like a musician.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's like I think it's like a composer or something.
So I didn't even look and see who was in this damn movie before I watched it, but I was surprised if you could,
Yes, I was also surprised, and there's some people in the wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Alfie Williams is the young boy.
Okay.
Jodie Comer, who I fucking love.
I'd never seen her before.
She's in Killing Eve, and she's in she was in like My Mad Fat Teenage Diary. She's like a lot of stuff. Like she's British.
Okay.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Craven himself. Was this before Craven or after Craven? Because I figured if it was after Craven,
with the hair, if he just rolled right in.
Well, I figured if it was after Craven, though, they probably would have had his shirt off.
Yeah, that's some. I did see someone. I will talk about this. Somebody's like when I talk about the reviews, but somebody's review said Aaron Taylor Johnson didn't take his shirt off. 0 stars. Then we have like Ralph Fiennes. Surprisingly, Ralph Fiennes showing up in this movie.
Sure did.
Yeah. Jack O'Connell. There's just like, and then some people that I don't know, but like Edvin Writing, Christopher Fullard.
Yeah.
But some bigger names.
Yeah.
In this movie.
All right, man. So let me see. Let's get it on. Last week it just didn't work, and I just look like a fool. But I'm gonna try it again here. Before we go any further, hey, where's my button? Oh, there it is. It's time. For one. I don't know what happened. You might have heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so Danny Boyle. Okay, 28 years later, Tiffelbot. One word.
My one word is what?
Oh, really? You? Oh, I'm so surprised. You? Oh, you gotta explain a little bit. I was like, you gotta explain a little bit.
I'm watching this movie, and I have to remind
myself. I am
myself,
so surprised. Go ahead.
I have to remind myself that it is a virus. They are not zombies. They are just infected people. Which I know that the zombie virus is a virus, whatever. But like, they are technically just infected with a disease.
Yes.
So, um,
It's a hell of a disease.
yeah. So watching this movie, some of it is it's just too it's just the first part I didn't mind. I was like, oh, I'm watching this. I don't mind it so much. It's interesting. And then the second half of the movie, I was like, what the fuck is this? I really
I know
like
exactly
a
what you're talking about.
pregnant zombie. I was
I
like,
know what you're talking about.
fuck off. Ray Fiennes covered in iodine.
Well, you're getting too deep.
You know what I mean? Like,
You're getting too deep. You're getting too deep.
oh, I did. Oh, because I
Yeah,
spoilers. Sorry.
yeah. So, wow. Okay, I'm even surprised because I literally, I had you on my mind 100% of the time when I was watching this, and I'm like,
God.
okay,
What did you think?
I was like, this is like some Tiffany shit. That's what I was thinking. um, this is not negative,
Okay.
but forgettable.
Why is that not negative?
Because when I watched it, I enjoyed it. I was like all in, especially the first two acts.
Mm-hmm.
The third act did get weird as hell. And I just said, okay, I'll allow it, McCoy.
You're like, I'm already here. It's fine.
Exactly. I'll allow it, McCoy. I'll let you do that one. Motion sustained, So yeah, it's got 88% on
Yeah. Okay.
on a
See,
tomato meter. So wow.
after there was a part in this movie where my mouth was hanging open, like
Uh-huh.
literally. That's never like doesn't really happen to me that often. But my mouth was hanging open, and not because I was like, oh, how jaw-droppingly great. I was just like, you're fucking kidding, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, because I was so flabbergasted by the existence of this movie at a certain point, I was like, I don't normally do this. I don't normally look up reviews, especially before the show. But I was like, I'm curious to know what people are saying about this movie. And a lot of it was like 3 stars, not that great. And I was like, 3 stars is like trucking towards 5 stars.
Yeah. So
Like,
the popcorn meter on that is 63%. So that's the fan score.
yeah, fans like it less than critics. And I sometimes, so there's obviously, so like,
Well, they
obviously
like
throw,
the acolyte. Fans hated the acolyte more than the critics did. So
yeah, we're throwing up some spoilers here,
oh, so
right?
yeah.
So, because I already spoiled it a little. But like the thing is that I feel like there's some messaging in this movie. There's always messaging in these type of movies.
Oh, this movie was heavy laden with
Heavy.
yeah.
My problem with the messaging in this movie is that the message already exists. Like the message of othering already exists within the zombie dynamic because there is the confirmed other. We are human, they
Yeah.
are not, right? So we
Yeah.
have that whole theme where we explore themes of like what it means to be on the outskirts of society. We're already thinking that. That's already done. That's already built into the plot of a zombie movie. So when you start overlaying stuff on top of that without doing it yourself, like you're just showing me these scenes, I'm like, that's pretty, I don't like that style of filmmaking. Like you show me the theme through your storytelling, not through absolutely telling me this is what this is.
Okay. I
And
got
so
you.
like fine, whatever. I'm willing to forgive that. But like when it gets to the point, so like I feel like critics sometimes have a hard time saying when there's a powerful message about like othering, they don't want to be like this is some hot garbage. Because I
Mm.
do think I agree with like the messages in this movie. It's just that like what? And there's okay, the guys, we talk about the amount of zombie dong.
Hey, it was everywhere. So
There's a dong, there's a dong. Is
that's true.
there a
So
penis?
let's take it back. Let's take it to the beginning because I
Okay.
think that a lot of this stuff is very interesting, even from the beginning. They start out the movie, and we got it's like at the beginning, I would imagine of their apocalypse is from the little boy's perspective, right? They're in there, little kids is watching TV, right, Tifflebot, and then it happens. Zombies is like in their house, that's destroying shit. Mama like, run, son, run. It's just
Which
like
like is it a cult?
a
Because
cult.
they're all blonde, right? Like, is this because
Oh,
this is before you're right. This is like at the beginning of the 28.
right,
This is not
right.
the this is not at the end of the 28 years. It's like at the beginning of the 28 years.
So they came in, they killed the kids, they killed the mama. One little boy got away, and it was just like, you know, he got away. Everybody else was dead, right? And he went to his dad, who was a preacher. He must have been Protestant, right? Because I was like, he looks like a father, but he's
He's
like,
got the
oh,
collar on.
yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, take us, yes, son.
Yes, my
The
children.
little boy runs away. So I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be about this little boy because he gets away. He got his little cross, he's gone. And you know, next thing you know, we're at this village, and they're living in that island in the middle of between what
Yes, they're on
Scotland
a
and
quarantined island. They cannot leave. So they're
well,
on a
even the island more than everything is quarantined. Like they tell you, like right, Great Britain is quarantined, which I
right.
found interesting because I never knew that in the original movie that it was just Great Britain. I thought it was the entire world. You know what
I
I'm
did too.
saying? So maybe they retconned that and we don't know about it, right?
But
I
they're
mean,
there.
could have.
And I think some of the scenes in this trailer are a little disingenuous. Like we see that mask person that fucking don't mean shit. It's just
No,
some
it
weird stuff that's happening in the background. There's no explanation for these weird cult-like behaviors or anything like that. They just kind of like let it happen, which is fine. I don't mind that. But like they could have had some really interesting avenues to explore, and they were just like, nah, fuck it. You think whatever you want.
so 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 we got this village, right? And I appreciate this. They got this thing, they're showing how everybody has a job. It's very like 18th century
Mm-hmm.
because what else you gonna do, right? You got fish out there to
Now,
eat.
here's the thing, though. These children in this town were born at like you're making babies on your quarantine island. Stop that. Go on and stop that.
No, because we need workers.
Yes.
That's what they used to do. That's why everybody used to have 19 babies back in the day for Chippewa,
Just
because
die.
you need
Okay.
workers. Look,
Just take it.
nobody's infected.
Take it for the team. Okay.
Nobody's infected, Tiff, about it. I disagree. They got
Die.
work
Dead.
skills. We need soldiers. So they got defenses, they got farmers, they got, livestock
Yeah, they've got
attendees.
their whole like little society.
And the only person that ain't working on the island is a sick mama, who, is out of her
Who he
mind.
goes in there and wipes her ass, right?
I hope, because she looked like she stunk, boy. I
She
was like,
was well,
ooh,
he's
ooh,
like
ooh.
that was one of the weirder scenes in the movie too, because I get what they're going for here, but it's just like wiping the ass. She can certainly wipe her own ass. She walked out.
So the little boy was turning 12 and he was going out to do his first hunt. They go, I guess, you go
Hmm.
out and kill a zombie and
He's
you
a little.
come
It's a
back
little
and
early. It's a little early. They say.
right. So goes out
Yeah, I
there.
guess like I thought it was like a gathering mission, like they go out there to get things that they
I
need or
thought they were
whatever.
foraging too.
But they don't. It's just like, and that, okay, there's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of like societies where you have like that initiation, right? Like you go out and you kill like your first animal or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. And that makes sense to me. Okay. There is a lot of things in this movie that like, and I'm not to be like any type of way, but there's like these fat, disgusting zombies. And then there's like the hot, ripped zombie. I think it's like the fat worm zombies. And this one's the hot cut zombie. It's like,
But
what is
typical.
this?
Let me explain. This is the coolest shit of this movie. When a little boy is sitting there and trying to eye up the fat zombie crawling, and then the one is coming behind them, and
Hmm.
I'm like, this is
These are the
good
parts of the
shit.
movie that I'm like, yeah, that's fine. This is great.
And
Um,
even this whole first debacle, this thing was intense, Tifflebot. I was
yeah,
on the
I thought
edge
they
of
were
my
gonna
seat.
die.
I was on. Well, I knew. Well,
I thought the daddy was gonna die.
yeah, I was like, oh, this dude only got 5 minutes in this movie, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a big name. Let's get this
Right,
guy
right,
out of
right.
here.
But talk about the intensity. You got the elk running around because they've been breeding out of control. There's no natural predators to control
But then that's like that wouldn't happen because diseases eventually kill. Like there's always an ebb and flow even without predators because and plus they had predators because the zombies were eating them.
No, that's true.
Like
That's
what
true.
the fuck?
But I will say this. I don't think it was as many zombies as you might think it is. I mean, I know, you never seen any like mass like the deer or those kind of zombies. You just kept seeing little pockets here and there, here and there.
Yeah. And
And
I
so
don't want to like go too hard on like an imaginary concept because
yeah.
honestly, if this happened and it was contained to that small region, they would just be bombed off the face of the earth.
So let me say this. Because this was the rage virus, I actually like this a little better because, I'm always saying, wait a minute, how long can something that
Well, but that's what I don't understand
survive,
because the
you
whole
know?
idea of 28 days later is that's how long it would take to starve them,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
They
So now
wasn't
we have
starving.
this so now
They
they're
wasn't
eating
starving. Yeah,
animals.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Um but like so they're evolving.
yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So they got this new concept of this alpha who was very intimidating, especially when they were like looking at him from the hut. and watching them. And they were pretty safe. I was like, they're pretty safe, man. They'll lose interest after a while. You know what I'm saying? And then the deer come down and shake the house, loose and stuff. This was good shit, Tifflebot. I was
Yeah,
on the
this
edge of
first
my
part of the
damn
movie,
seat.
I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
They take off running for the water. He running behind them, stomping all hard. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, shit. I'm in my little room
Yeah,
howling.
you get like they're like, when I open the gates, open the gates. That was like intense. You're like,
Yeah.
fucking open the gates.
Here's my problem. That zombie looked exactly like the other zombie.
Yeah.
They look like the
And
same
I couldn't
dude.
tell who was dead and who was alive.
Exactly. But anyway, they come back in, next thing you know, and they overlaid in that part with them having that rage party. And I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, oh, they celebrating like these cats is like heroes, and they ain't even coming back yet. But lo and behold, I realized, I said, oh, they already made it back, after they made it obvious, showing a little boy sitting there drinking a brew and all this stuff, and the dad up there telling stories and stuff, which what you would do because
Right.
there's no
This is
TV and
very
stuff like
much,
that, right?
I like that. That is part of the movie that I like, is these, like, this is how society is. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
share your hunting stories, you exaggerate a little bit. The important thing is that you survived and got back, right? So all this
right,
stuff that you're saying is just like bravado, and it
yeah.
helps further the mythos of your whole society, that you then can continue to
No,
do
simple,
those
but this is
things.
where I start having a problem at, right?
Mm,
Because the little boy sees his father sneaking some cheeks because mom is sick and
she's
stuff.
shitting her pants.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He wiped her ass. She's not. And here's the thing: I get that it's his mom and stuff like that, but she is not right.
No, no, no.
She's
She's
not there.
right. And so dad is out there. He drunk. He got some obviously had some stuff going on for a while. Little boy see it and okay, traumatizing,
Yeah.
devastating for sure. But to the point that you just be
That
pulling
you're like,
knives and
let's
shit, and you
go.
and you
And you,
and you
yes,
take the mama and you leave. I'm like, wait,
and
whoa, whoa,
you were
whoa.
there. You know you didn't do a good job, and you're gonna take this basically screaming banshee with you into the woods.
Exactly. I was like, I don't. And then I'm like, well, I'm sure the father's going to follow them. He's hot on the trail. You know, no, no. He just lets him go. Little kid pull a knife on him, get slapped, all this shit. I'm like, this is a little far from seeing Pop getting some sneaky cheeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Well,
like,
like, if you
woo.
really care about this person, you wouldn't take them into that environment.
Yeah. And you're horrible, right? You're going to die. You
You're
shot
gonna kill,
something.
and honestly, you did get her killed.
Well,
Because
yeah.
that's it. Like, there's some other stuff that's weird about this movie. We're like, okay, so they're out there,
Yeah.
and okay,
Because
they run
the
into
granddaddy told him this guy was a doctor,
a
and
doctor,
and
and
he and
and
he,
I
he
get it.
figured a
There's
doctor is gonna be a cure.
right. He
Right.
doesn't know. He's never had, but also,
Very naive though, Tifflebot. It wasn't
but
well
yeah, but also, I
laid
have a
out.
really hard time believing that there's not a midwife or some kind of doctor acting person in this village.
Got to be some books in there. Somebody had
Nobody
to
got no band-aids or anything.
somebody had
Like,
to start
come
brushing
on,
up.
that's the doctor.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, so very confusing to think that, like, they live in a society with like no doctors.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
not even like a medicine woman or anything like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, somebody to help them. There's got to be.
yeah.
People break limbs, people get like whatever. Anyway, fine. I'm gonna willing to like forgive that because he's gonna
You
go and
allow
try to. Yeah, I'll allow it.
it.
But they go out there, and then we meet the best character in the film, who was with us for about 5 minutes,
Oh,
which
you
is
talking about
that.
so I was confused.
Okay, yes.
So I think I'm hoping there's a bunch of film on the cutting room floor. Okay, because this was the biggest problem I had with the movie. They had these soldiers appear from nowhere. Now they said that okay, that's a helicopter. They're on patrol. They're patrolling us, but wouldn't you like to see the helicopter go down when they get in the raft and
Show
make it to
me
shore?
the
Because
exciting
I'm gonna
things.
tell you the problem with these soldiers. So they come in and they're running for their lives. They're not even good soldiers, right? Because they shooting, and y'all got enough bullets to. It was only about 5 or 6 of them chasing y'all. What y'all doing, right? And y'all turning into zombies and shit. And I'm like, I don't. Okay, I didn't care that they were getting eating and stuff, right? Because you didn't even know there
Who
was
are
no.
they?
You could have did a side by side story of this blonde kid who takes off his helmet, and we assume it's this little kid. We're like, oh, this must be that little kid. He's all soldiered up, And but I'm like, how? But anyway, because he said he was living in France and shit. And yeah, so you said he was the best character in the movie, huh?
Yeah, I because he's got he's got that kind of like bravado. He actually says some funny stuff that I had a little laugh at.
He did.
He's like helpful to these people even though at first he doesn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, I mean, he's with us for literally what was even the point of putting him in there at all? Like, if
Yeah.
you would have removed all of that stuff from the movie, I don't feel like you would have changed it in any like significant way.
Here's my issue too. So dad was like, it takes about 12, arrows to put an alpha down. Okay, he got semi-automatic weapons. People should have been going down with the ease. I'm like, what's going on? You
And
don't see us
not just that
trade?
it's like, and they're firing off lots of rounds.
Yeah.
Bap, 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 bap. I see this kid shooting an arrow and killing a zombie like that, and then I see these guys who are like, bap, 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 and they're still coming.
Yeah, I was like,
So
I don't understand.
uneven.
Yeah, yeah, and you didn't care because they didn't develop any of those characters, which I felt was a mistake. You could have started this movie right after the little boy. You could have had a dual. If I was directing this movie, and I'm no director, I would have had a dual story going up until that point. I would have showed them loading up, being bros and shit, and in the helicopter, getting in the helicopter, showing the helicopter going down instead of his little explanation with and all that, so you can care when they died, right? Because those cats
Right.
went
Some
down
give
like
me some
that.
stakes.
And here's something else Tiffelbot. Why they all have on masks? They all had on masks, Tiffelbot.
Mm,
For
dunno.
zombies?
Mhm.
Why they have on masks? I was like, why they got why we wearing the masks? So, you know, did he get taken out, Tiffelbot?
Yeah, right away. Like, there's the whole. This movie is very, very in love with its kill shots. Like, it
Yeah.
even has like a almost a video game patina on it, where they're just like they do that slow and they show the arrow blowing through them, and then like they show the ripping of the spine out, and you're like, I get it. Good for you. You know what I mean? Like, I please don't like.
Right, right.
I don't need your. It's almost like don't look over here. Look over
Yeah.
here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm already looking at your bad plot. Leave me alone. So
Yeah.
we meet so then the zombie has a baby.
I was confused when I saw her, Tiff, because I was like, oh, she must have got turned and she'd been walking around with that baby zombie in her
But then
forever.
I got to remember that like with a regular zombie, like a more traditional zombie, they're dead. So they're not producing any
But
jizz.
these people aren't dead.
But these
So
people have yes, they're just sick people. Sick people still produce jizz. So they made a baby
yeah.
and that's the thing though. It doesn't matter if they made a baby because they are not like the way they're portrayed in
Maternal
this
or
movie.
anything. Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to and they wouldn't be able to care for the baby. I would assume they would eat the baby
I
if left
guess.
alone because the
Because
baby's not
it's
infected
not infected.
supposedly.
Right, right, right.
Which that I
The
see.
whole baby thing was stupid, Tifflebot.
Yeah, every fucking zombie movie when they get too long in the tooth, they're like, "What about a baby?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The baby was
It's like
stupid.
the baby's dumb. That's what it is. And I get that like
How about the
so
mother grabbing hands with the
it's
zombie?
almost like yeah, it's almost like they're like, I'm gonna do the baby zombie right. You're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here's the thing about I get what they're saying, but like there are some diseases that a child is inoculated against because their
Yes,
mother might have it.
for sure.
But usually bloodborne diseases, not so much. Which this I also don't understand about this movie is that like in the previous movies, any blood, like remember like the blood gets in the guy's eye. He's not
Yeah,
bitten or anything, and then he turns because
yeah, yeah.
any blood contact, she literally is elbow deep in placenta.
That's true.
And she's like, I'm like, so even if the baby's not infected, the mother is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
So
not consistent. I don't like the inconsistency.
that's true. If if that bothers you, that's true. And I didn't even think about that, but yeah, because
Because even in this movie, the
there's always
zombie
a bite
he
or
shoots
something.
that one that's close to her, and it gets some blood on her forehead.
Yeah,
And before it gets in her eyes, he has to wipe it off.
yeah. So you guys acknowledge
That it's there.
that it's that's your trope, but then yeah, she was covered in all that stuff. So
And
anyway,
then
man,
so we meet Ray Fiennes,
yeah. But
who's doing his.
I will say the scene on the train with them running from the damn zombie was cool. It was like it was intense. That was intense. I was like, ah. But then here come Ray Fine, and he's a cool character. I thought he was gonna be like some murder witch doctor or some stuff like that. But go ahead.
No, that's another thing when he was So it's another inconsistency that I don't enjoy
Okay.
is that like they're so dangerous that everyone's but apparently the solution is just rubbing iodine all over yourself.
Well, I think what do you say? They didn't like it, or
The disease is afraid of the iodine.
that's what he said. Well,
Yeah,
it's
he's
all
covered
fake,
up.
Tiff.
He's all
Tiff, it's
covered
all
up.
fake. So it's all fake. So
Yeah, it's all fake, but it's just like so it's that stupid. It's that easy. You know what I mean? And then like there's like I don't like that this movie has like an enforced sort of like trying to make me feel the majesty of the situation because he's caring for the dead, and I'm like, that's a fucking stupid waste of time.
well,
Like
he was supposed to be
you're
not
done.
all there, right?
I don't know. He's
But
still doctoring enough.
I will say that firing up the engines and the spiral fireworks with the inspirational music was. I was like, what the f is happening here? I was like, what happened? I was looking at my daughter. I was like, when did this turn into
Yeah,
this shit? Right?
where this is about the time in the movie where things just go off the
The fourth
fucking
act.
rails.
Yeah, the whole the take care of the dead stuff. I wasn't 100% out with that, but when the mom died and he came back and it was like wee wee
Yeah,
with the
but
flames, wee wee
it's like
wee.
this idea though that like, oh, he's got so much soul, he's taking care of the dead. I'm like, you're a fucking doctor. Get your punk ass back to the fucking village.
Yeah,
If you want
yeah.
to make a fucking
Listen,
difference, you're
right.
like, oh no, I'm just boiling and ripping the skin off of dead animals and putting them on the. And then he's like, oh, I can help you. And then he kills her. I'm like, why don't you just go back to the village and die?
Oh, well, that's the thing. See, I didn't have an issue with that part because she was so close, and he told her all about her, yeah, you're done, So
Hmm.
I get that part. I was like, okay, fine. But the whole
But she was like, I
celebration of
knew. And
that
I'm like,
thing,
oh, you knew? So you like went with your, I guess she's crazy. Never mind. Well, not crazy. She's got the cancer is like in her brain.
well, she would have her moments when she
Right.
was not.
Clarity.
Yeah, and we hope that this was clarity. But that happens. The little boy accepts it. The next thing you know, what? He takes the baby and he, leaves it at the doorstep and, in the
And they were
basket.
like, sure, we'll take it in. It's like, you guys, you've
This
never
baby hasn't
had,
eaten in like 3 days.
but yeah, I'm like, where's the milk?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
baby needs milk. But
Yeah,
not
yeah.
only that, like, even if the baby isn't infected, okay, we've never encountered this situation before. And I
The
think a
baby
bunch of
might
the
turn
tribe,
at like a mutant at like a
right, and then
X-Men or
like
something, right?
their blood might be contagious to other people, or that might
Oh, the blood
mutate
may
later.
be
We
the
don't
saving
know.
saving grace. You never know.
That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. That's
Mhm.
interesting. But like I think like if you were in a pioneering town where like you're used to like just doing what you need to survive, they're not going to take the strange infected baby. I feel like they just throw that basket in the ocean.
You know what I
Like
found
why
strange?
would you?
If the rest of the world is okay and it's just Great Britain,
Mhm.
that territory, that country, but the the world is aware that this island is has a village on it. You guys are not dropping them radios so you can
That's what I'm
communicate with
saying.
them
Like
and
why aren't
stuff
they
like
doing
that.
they would do care drops. That
Something.
would make more sense if like on that main land because that I understand why you couldn't do a care drop on that little like whatever
But
that
that
is because
island, you can get everybody off of it, I guess.
well
But the
but why
boy was
wouldn't
like,
you do
once
the
you come here, you're dead,
yes,
So
why don't you do the drop on the mainland? And that would make sense why you would do the expeditions onto the mainland to get the drops, because like that would make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I thought there was, because the island was clearly uninfected, clearly, and bustling. They got smokestacks going, they got, fields growing stuff, and they still stuck there. Huh? I was like, wow. Anyway, so the boy decides to go off on his own, Tifflebot, and I had a problem with this. And I was like, when I saw the dad, I was like, damn, you ain't even go off there and get him. Now they seem to be a loving family, except Pop got cheeks, right? I don't understand. You would
Well, like, and then they give him
He
the
did not
baby.
seem like the type of man that would
They're
go
like,
get his son and
here's
leave
your
his wife.
baby, and I'm like, why is this my fucking baby?
No, it's not my baby. We're right. Yeah.
I didn't go out there.
Yeah, I don't Tiff, it seemed uncharacteristic with the character not to go after his wife and son, even after a mistake. Hey, come on, boy. Look, daddy got some cheeks. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? I'm and then he's gonna be allowed to just stay out there at 12 years old. What are you doing?
I
And And clearly, with his first encounter, he was a dead man, right? He was dead already. I mean, he's sitting up there with that fish, like he's just seasoned. I'm like, you still ain't killed nothing. You know what I'm saying? You
But also
still
like the zombies. Okay, so then like eating that fish. I'm just like, if they're fish eating people, then why aren't they just eating all the fish in the ocean? They don't need to like, you know what I mean? They're like,
I don't think they can swim, simple mind.
they can't swim.
The zombies, I don't think they
They
can swim.
can't swim, even though they got that alpha. That alpha seems like it turn into a submarine, just blow right
No,
through.
I don't think it can swim.
Like,
They so laden with rage. I just can't see them out there
yeah,
breaststroking. You know.
you're so mad you're gonna swim.
Um,
But then we come to the part of the movie where my jaw dropped open because I thought, what is this?
whoa, 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 whoa! It turned into like some goofy Guy
It
Ritchie
was
a
so.
snatch type of movie, right?
I was just like,
Talking
what?
about when
And
the
why is
blonde
this
folks
here?
showed up and with the cross and with the bad uh blonde wigs and the tracksuits and shit.
And then, like, you guys, I'm not even kidding. Sound effects like boing,
It was, and they were
and I was
doing like
like,
parkour kills and stuff like that. It was weird.
and I
And
understand that like maybe this director has an artistic vision that I'm not seeing, but it was almost like it almost felt like they might as well just pan to the director and they were looking me in my eyes and said, "Ha ha, stupid motherfucker! I made a dumb movie and you watched it all." Do you know what I mean? Like that's
wow,
what it felt like.
so
Like,
it
what
turned
was
out
the point of this?
because that was a little boy. We were wrong. It wasn't a
Right? But
soldier.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
I guess he was there on the whole time. And then they even showed you in the beginning, like I had forgot that somebody had stringed somebody up. And, they left the zombie there strung up and stuff. They do all this stuff and then he shake hands like they shook hands like this was the beginning of a new um series. Like there will be another 28
Right.
something right after
Like
that.
28 decades later, they'll all be dead.
Or they're gonna do 28 months later, something maybe. I
Yeah, I
felt like they
suppose.
were trying to get another and Tiflbot. The reviews are in. It's doing very well.
I know. I was
Well, I
confused
don't know
about
how
it.
much money it made. I can't say it's doing very well. I said that I can say that it was well received. Let me put it that way. So, who knows? Who knows if they're gonna
I
do
feel like
another
I
one?
watched an entirely different movie than everyone else.
Um, Act 3 was hard to get around. And poor Cillian Murphy, you lost all that weight to do that little zombie scene that for nothing,
Is that him?
It was supposed to be, yeah. That the one that came out, the skinny one. That was supposed to be him. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. For
Hmm.
what? Why? Why? I mean, of course he wasn't that skinny because that was basically a skeleton, but I mean, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Not sure
Mm,
why. Anyway,
not for me. It wasn't for me.
so when did it turn not for you? In Act 3 or
Yeah.
you were perfectly fine with Act 1 and
Well,
2?
I wasn't even the first part. I wasn't even like I'm not. I wasn't even like this is great. I was like I'm not bothered by this. I'm not
Okay.
like in love. I'm not. I don't hate it. Do you know what I mean? Like I could watch this. If it maintained that level, I would have watched it and been like, all right.
It was
Um,
intense. It was a nail biter. That them running from them zombies and them shooting them arrows and stuff. It was a nail biter. Yeah,
but then the more ridiculous it got, the more I felt like the movie was actively trolling me.
okay.
Like I
Wow.
got your $20. Here's some fucking slop.
So I don't feel like that about it, but I will say that I think that after this conversation, it will be totally forgettable for me. I won't think about this movie anymore. I mean, I just won't. But
Those
I never
blonde
thought about
people.
that's not true. I have had thoughts over 28, the first
I
two.
think I love 28 Days Later. I think about that movie all the time.
Well, that's a good movie, and
It's great.
did they? And in the second was the lady who from James Bond, was she in the second one? The black lady, I forgot her name. She's so fine. She, because I know they end up going to like living out in the country somewhere, but I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I need to watch 28 Weeks Later
Yeah,
again
because
because
I barely
it's been a
remember.
minute and I thought I didn't like it, but now I wonder if I am wrong about that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. So anyway, man. Yeah, yeah.
Just odd,
I
odd
didn't have a
shit.
bad time as Stiflebot. I thought I
I was
will say this to you.
actively angry about it. I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and this was your Fantastic Four for you for the season. This is the one you wanted to see from the beginning. I mean, this was the movie you was most excited about this season. That's what
And
you.
there are some things in this movie that I enjoyed, like the visual aspects of some of this stuff, where it was like a little bit weird and sort of like trippy.
You know what was trippy? I'll take it way back to when they were like, that they had that crazy ass uh, old radio record like guy saying while they were running, and he was like, they were. It started out real
So
slow.
that's a very, very famous poem about war.
Okay, it was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
It was creepy. It was creepy.
And so I just like it's giving some gravitas to the movie that I don't think the movie earned on its own. And
Okay,
that bothers me.
well, they were
But there was
showing
also
the
certain
boy
thought
going out as a soldier and stuff like that. And
right.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
There's also some things about this movie that like are strange with no payoff. Like there's certain times where like the movie almost like glitches out, like they're like bzz, bzz, and then I'm like, oh, this is gonna show up. This is gonna make sense later. No, it's just he decided at this point in the movie that it's gonna have a little bit of like fuzz on the screen, or like you know what I mean.
I feel that this movie is more to this movie than it is Tiflebot. I think that maybe the studio cut the shit out of it because I gotta believe there was more story to those soldiers. It just made no sense for them to just show up just to give you this one character
Just I'm
who
thinking
you
like
killed
if
too.
if they cut that out, it wouldn't have made a difference to the movie. If they cut that kid
Right.
from the beginning and the end out, it would make no difference to the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, what
That's
is
what I'm saying.
that?
It seems like it was a bigger movie, and then they just,
So
that's
maybe
what I.
I'll have a director's cut, and then I'm gonna have to watch it again just to see.
No, this makes sense a little bit.
Oh, okay. Now it's my favorite movie.
Right, 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 right. Okay, man. So I think we came to do the damn thing. We got it done,
We
man.
did.
Yeah. Don't know what we're gonna do next week, man.
Oh, I will be gone next week.
Oh, okay. So I got to figure out something.
I will be in Las Vegas.
Okay. There by yourself because I hear tourism is taking a hit because of this
That's what I heard as
administration.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I hear it's
uh
bad out there, man. So
catch me in the pool by myself.
yeah, yeah, but you might just be. All right, man. So I'm the host of Furniture Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my wonderful co-host, Miss Tiff. About say goodbye to these people, Tiff.
It's been a pleasure as always.
All right, man. And so we will be here next week, and I will announce what the hell we're gonna do before we do it. Hopefully, it's hard sometimes. Okay, so yeah, that's it.
All right.
So that's it. So until next week, we'll be
On
on
patrol.
patrol.